Well, welcome to our midweek message. My name is Phil Harrington. I am the rector here at St Mary's, and I want to thank you for joining us again. Now, over the last few days, I've been thinking quite a lot about Isaiah chapter 58 and what it says, how the prophet there was speaking into a situation where the people of God had become religious rather than people who were living by faith and were living out the way that God was calling them to live. They were doing things, religious things like fasting, and yet their hearts were far from God. And I've been struck again by the kind of fast that God wants us to do. And it's a fasting that is focused upon the oppressed, upon helping those who are vulnerable. You get these words, it's about loosening the chains of injustice, sharing your food with the hungry, providing the poor wanderer with shelter. When you see the naked, to clothe them. Isaiah goes on to say, if you do away with the yoke of oppression, if you spend yourselves on behalf of the hungry, then ... And so it's got me thinking about, well, how is it that we can do that here and now? And obviously part of what we do here at St Mary's is to support some of our mission partners who are fighting to help people who are vulnerable at the moment, both locally in the Guildford and Leatherhead area and globally in different countries. But one way that we can really do this practically in the here and now, each and every one of us, is to get behind the Operation Christmas Child Shoebox Appeal. There are so many children around the world who will not experience anything like the kind of Christmas that we might experience. They will not get very many presents or gifts or food or anything like that. And we've done this for a few years now here at St Mary's, but it's an opportunity for us to stand against some of the oppression that some of the world's poorest children experience. And it's a way that we can easily share some of the abundance that we have been so blessed with, and to share some love and compassion and give to children who wouldn't have anything but will be hugely blessed by our gifts. And so if you want to get behind that, then an easy thing for you to do is to get in touch with the church office and collect a shoebox for you to fill. And there's lots of details online about the kind of things that you need to put in. And then if we gather them all back in at the end of October, we will send them off. And that's something, it's a great thing to do as a young family. You help your children to understand that there are people around the world who are in really desperate situations. You could do it as home groups and see how many you can do as a home group, or just on your own, whatever you think. And it's interesting how Isaiah weaves into his speaking to the people of God at the time. That he says, if we do these things, then actually, as we are in sync with God's heart, there's great value and blessing in that. So if we do all these things, Isaiah says, then your light will break forth like the dawn. Then your righteousness will go before you. Then you will call and the Lord will answer you. Then your light will rise in the darkness. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land. He will strengthen your frame. And you will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fails. There's always a backwash of blessing when we are living in line and in sync with God's values, when we are being his hands and feet and playing our part in healing and alleviating poverty and standing against injustice. So that's one easy way that you can play your part in doing that in the run up to Christmas this year. So why don't you do that? And why don't you be a blessing to a child somewhere who at the moment is facing a pretty depressing next few months. May we try and be a people who will bring some light into their darkness and bring some cheer in what has been a very difficult year. So that's just one way to do that. Thank you so much for listening. Do be praying for our Alpha course that starts tonight. I'm very excited about that. It's not too late to sign up. If you want to, then do get in touch with us. Or if not, we'll see you hopefully on Sunday, either up at St. Mary's in person or obviously again online, both of those at 10 o'clock. Bye for now.